Hey everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and I'm back with another special review that I am excited to bring you. Today, we'll be taking a look at, from the Beast Hunters line, Voyager class Optimus Prime. This comes to me courtesy of my good friend Downshift from the legendary site Cybertron.com. This is also the Canadian version of the packaging, so you might notice some extra words here on the side. That's a little farther back, but let's be honest, we already know what the packaging says. It's been covered a few times. So yeah, this is the box. Let's get to the toy. Before we begin our look at the figure, there's a couple things I want to point out. Number one, the instructions are terrible. They omit certain steps, and in one case they're redundant with a step. We'll get to that a little later on when we're going to vehicle mode. Another thing that's a little bit of a pet peeve of mine is that this is how Optimus Prime comes in the packaging. Now obviously this is not how the robot mode is supposed to look. Many times Transformers are slightly mistransformed to fit into the bubble in the packaging. What bothers me is that the instructions don't tell you how to correct that mistransformation to get him into the proper robot mode. If you'll excuse me here, I forgot to take out the heel spurs when I was putting him into robot mode. But that's one thing right there. Those are flipped in. But the big issue is the backpack. Now, I'll be honest. Last time I saw them do anything like that in an instruction manual where they correct the transformation was for Armada Supreme Class Unicron. First of all, what you want to do is very simple. Just flip up this back section, come into the sides here, peg the two wheel wells together, and then just fold this up into the back like so, with the plate facing up, and then bring the backpack down and around, and it will peg into the section there. The next step, if you want, is that you can go ahead and bring up those flared shoulder armors. This is how Optimus Prime is supposed to look in his non-weaponized robot mode. Let's come in and take a look at some of his detail. Right off the bat, you should notice Optimus Prime's new face sculpt. This is an open face plate with a snarling mouth type of deal. Very shiny, very nice. I like it. Some people don't. He does have light piping. It's green. Not sure if it's picking up on the camera well. There is green plastic also in the windshield of his chest. Going down the body, you can see the red and blue motif continues with bits of gray on his arms, blue in his torso area, the upper leg, down to his knees and his fists. And then you come around on the back while you smack the camera, and there's his gray winged backpack. I personally feel that this version of Optimus Prime is an homage to the Cybertron Leader Class Optimus Prime due to the winged jetpack and the way his front chest looks. Let's take a look at his articulation. Okay, this is actually a very nicely articulated figure. His head is on a swivel joint, can look left and right. He can look up, but that's due to a transformation joint. His arms can go out to the side, nice ratchet joints. They can swing forward, but it is limited by the smokestacks on the back when the wings are down. You can bend at the elbow, rotate at the bicep, rotate at the wrist. No waist articulation, forward and back, hip movement, ratchet in the knees, single joint, and you have some articulation in the feet. While I'm here, I might as well go ahead and show you how to flip out the backpack. Basically what you want to do is swing the wings out to the side, come in, and then swing them down so the smokestacks are facing up. And then what the instructions show is that the wing section with the tip facing up goes up, and then the other section comes down. Yes, I know it's out of camera. I will correct that. And you can just want to make sure everything's even. And here, let me adjust the camera for you. I hate doing this while trying to edit, but there he is. As you can see, he has a nice winged mode, and as I mentioned, it does improve the arm articulation a little bit, not a lot. That is rather unfortunate. I guess you have to like bend stuff out of the way, and I hate doing that. I mean, if you fold the wing upside down like that, that frees things up, but that it doesn't look right. So yep, so let's take a look at his weapons. And here's Optimus Prime with his weapons. Now this is something interesting I want to mention. If you take a look here on the box, it says ionic pulse launchers. In the US versions, in the instructions, they're called Falcon launchers. Well, in the international version, which I assume this is, they're called in the instructions ion pulse launchers. The Star Saber is always referred to as the Star Saber. Now, some people have complained about the quality of the weapons here, and are they really that good? And they don't like the fact that it's this over-under thing. I kind of like it. Let me just straighten them out here. These are spring-loaded missiles, which I always like. One thing I am happy about is the little side parts of the bow launcher or whatever are not loose. Some versions I've seen, they've been one of them has been loose on one side. But yeah, and they spring-loaded, really fire. Nice little shot right there. The Star Saber is a nice translucent green. I know a lot of people were upset by that, but that was the plastic they were using. I know they were upset that the missiles weren't translucent, but what are you going to do? One thing I should mention, as I'm sure many of you already know, is that these launchers can also double as rocket boosters for his flying mode. If you come in on the side here, you see a nice little hole. These can just peg right in. Just like that. Same on this side, and yep, there you go. He's got, like, his little launchers so he can fly around. Yeah, I personally like the weapons. I like the Star Saber a lot. Let's take a look at his transformation and vehicle mode. Okay, start transformation. I've removed all the weapons, including the ones pegged in on the side, and I've returned Optimus Prime to a neutral pose. First thing you want to do is go ahead and fold down those shoulder pads. Then come in behind. Bring down the wings. Rotate them forward. And then you can just basically rotate them upside down. We'll fiddle with them later. You just want to get them out of the way. Next, you want to come in, unpeg the backpack, bring it up over his head, just like so. Come in and bring down that back section. While doing so, you want to come in and just fold down the head. Next, you want to bring the arms out to the side, and while doing so, go ahead and rotate them backwards, and then rotate them behind so that they just fit in like so. You can then go ahead and rotate the wings down while bringing down the backpack, and then proceed to peg. A little tab here on the wing goes into a hole in the arm. You're going to have to play with it a little just to get them to go in. It is a nice tight fit. Good work if you can get it. Listen. There's one. Make sure everything's folded in. And then there's two. And yeah, just want to make sure everything's nice and neat here. So that's how it should look. Then you want to rotate him around so the front of the cab is facing what was the back of the vehicle. This is why I kind of call this Optimus Prime the Contortionist Prime, because you're about to see him really start bending. Next, you want to come into the legs. You want to just peg them together just like that. Fold the heels into the feet, and as you notice, the body already has sort of leaned back. What you want to go ahead and do is just bring the legs up, bending them at the knee slightly. That is part of the transformation, don't worry. And then there are red pegs on the forearm that will peg into holes on the leg. And you just slide them in, and there you go. Rear of the vehicle is done. Next, what you want to do is you're going to come around the front here, and this is where things got a little interesting with the instructions. The instructions tell you to go ahead, flip that front section up like you're supposed to, come around, and then just peg these in wheel wells into the side. No. You need to first rotate the claws. Well, you can peg them in first if you so desire. There is like a little you know, you want to just go ahead and do that, you can. Thought there was a set tab or something it was gonna fit into, but you should. Oh yes, there's a tab on the leg you want to peg these into right there, and there's a little, so you just work it on in there, get them in, and then what you, now they tell you to leave it like this. No, what you want to do is rotate the claws forward, and there's little grooves on the front that they fit into. Ooh. Ooh. Now the last thing is, by moving these around, you should have, the wheels should be a little for shots. What you want to do is push them in, and they should spin freely, allowing the vehicle mode to spin, the wheels in the vehicle mode to spin and to roll freely. That kind of annoyed me with the instructions, that they left it like that, but here he is in his armored truck mode. Clearly, again, an homage, in my opinion, to Cybertron Optimus Prime. Let me add the weapons, and we'll be back with my final thoughts. And here's Optimus Prime, armored up with the weapons. The launchers can peg onto the side here. You do have to adjust the wings down. Again, that's something they don't mention in the instructions. and the sword can peg on the back. I should mention the sword can also peg on the back in robot mode, for weapon storage. Vehicle mode, like I said, this is, in my opinion, Cybertron Optimus Prime. I can also see some homages to Jetwing animated Optimus Prime, movie Jetwing Prime, but for me, this is Cybertron Prime. This was a fantastic toy. I know for some of you, the limitations in the arm movement might be a bit of a turnoff, but I hope you can look past it for what a fun little figure this is. Now, there were also questions about the weight and size. Yes, there are some hollow parts, but it's not open hollow, they've been closed in. And for me, they're there because of the transformation. Now, I honestly don't notice a difference in weight between this and older or other Voyagers. But then again, it's been a while since I've handled a Voyager. If you see this guy in stores, pick him up. Maybe. You see, there's going to be quite a few of these types of Optimus Primes. Thanks to Toy Fair, we know that there's this guy. There's the Commander class, which we've also seen. And then there will be a Supreme class that's going to have like a giant spinning dragon-headed Stargate backpack that looks a lot more like Cybertron Optimus Prime. If you want, you can wait, pick your poison, and see how you're going to go. Knowing me, I'll probably get all of them. I already have the Commander class on the way, but this is a fun figure, and it's definitely worth your time to look into. This is your old pal Chuck for Optimus Prime. Transform, roll out, we'll see you next time.